Alright folks, welcome to another modern stream. Today we're going to be playing a spicy little, sort of a brew. It's kind of an old classic, I like to call it. I actually did play a fair amount of Kiki-Chord back in the day, after Summer Bloom was banned, and right before Amulet made a comeback. When was this? 2016, 17 maybe? I don't know. My deck of choice was actually Kiki-Chord. This is that point in time when Jeff Hoogland was dominating with this deck, and then the deck kind of fell out of favor, which is understandable because Modern has been moving forward. But I received a dono suggestion from Eric Lee. Thank you so much, Eric. And the idea was I wanted to. Basically, Eric wanted to make sure that we were playing a Kiki-Chord deck, Kiki-Chord Shell with Revelark. That was the one thing the deck had to play one of Revelark, and of course playing all the updated, all the new cards basically that have been printed since this deck was actually popular. We actually see there's this player in Magic Online by the name of Kurusu, who actually has been doing pretty well with the deck, posting consistent 5-0s. And I took inspiration from a list of I don't know if it's a him, but like one of their lists. And some of ideas are actually very, very cool. They were playing a Stoneforge package with like Batterskull and Sword of Feast and Famine and the full 4 Stoneforges. I wasn't too much into that. I always found like the whole blink aspect of this kind of deck to be a lot of fun. So I'm trying to maximize on that. So I'm playing Renegade Ralliers, which is a card I always thought were super, super sweet. Particularly when you could combine it with Restoration Angel and obviously Yorion. And then I'm adding extra Eladamir Skull. I've been kind of a fan of this card for a while, in case you hadn't figured that out. And Voice of Resurgence. I also added a couple more Birds of Paradise. We're playing 29 lands. This seems like a little bit on the low side to me for such a mana-hungry deck with 80 cards and with Yorion. We're going to see how this works out. Again, I'm taking kind of like their blueprint and then I'm going off of it. I'm also playing one Archon of Emeria in the main deck. This seems like the perfect kind of deck for having Archon in the main deck. So I thought it made a lot of sense. I really want a chord for Archon in response to my opponent fetching for Mystic Sanctuary. That's what I want to happen, basically. That's my dream for this league. We have the one of Magus, the one of Skyclare Operation, another card that I've been kind of a really, really huge fan of. Lomi Shaman, which I thought is pretty cool. Not only is it great against Mill for obvious reasons, but it's also great against Belcher when they stack their deck and you can just make them shuffle. It's pretty cute. Eldritch Evolution as a redundant Chord of Callings, basically. Couple of Voices of Resurgence against the control decks. Obviously, it's a really nice combo with Eldritch Evolution itself. Wall of Blossoms, more Evo targets, Scavenging Ooze against the Graveyard decks. Of course, this is one of the OG Creature Toolbox decks, so we have a bunch of one-offs that are great. Shalai is also pretty insane against the mill decks, which I didn't consider when I saw the original list from Kurusu. So that was like a pretty cool inclusion that I didn't see coming. And then of course you have the obvious combo of Kiki plus Resto to make infinite dudes and attack with many angels. The sideboard is a little bit all over the place. I stole some ideas from Kurusu and I added some of my own. I added a couple of boils. Blood Moon was in their sideboard, so was Fiery Justice. Fiery Justice is always a card that I always found delightful, particularly against the Death Shadow decks. Always awesome to like make your opponent game 5 and kill a Gurmag Angler. Sick value. Knight of Autumn, of course, a classic. Eidolon of Rhetoric, another redundant copy of the Archon of Emeria effect against the combo decks. The one-off fun of Lightning Helix. We're gonna see how this works out. That is what Kurusu had. Veil of Summers and Celestial Purges, just very, very good cards for the sideboard, and another copy of Scavenging Ooze for those pesky graveyard decks. We're gonna see how this league goes. If anything, I can guarantee that we're gonna have a lot of fun this league. because I always had a blast playing this kind of deck. So it's fun to be back on this. And again, thanks to Eric for making it happen. Jeff playing Modern, those were the times. So yeah, remember. And the funniest thing is that Jeff hasn't played Modern in I have no idea how many years almost at this point, but Wall of Roots is still banned. is still bugged. Sorry, there is a bug with Wall of Roots that actually started. It was fine, but back when Jeff was streaming Kiki-Chord, these like random bugs started showing up where when you would use the ability, number one, it wouldn't let you back off, and number two, the way it's worded with Chord of Calling, if you click on the Chord of Calling, you should be able to tap the Wall of Root for the chord and also put a -1, -0, -1 counter on it as well. And Magic Online just will not allow you to do that. It was fine, and with one update, it got bugged, and then it was just never fixed. I have probably, definitely 10 times. I've definitely submitted 10 times for sure about that bug, and yeah. Wow, we're again in a companion metagame, huh? I'm gonna keep this hand. I don't even know what Jegantha is. Probably mono red. You can file for comp. Yeah, I get exactly. Oh, we're playing against. Okay, so we're probably dead. We're playing against Belcher. Unless we find the Archon right about now. That's why the list with Yogg is dropping. I don't know if that's why. I don't know if that's why, but... Oh, it's Storm. Well, same thing. I wish I drew... I wish I could draw the same card. I'm still looking for Archon. Put 2 cards on the bottom. Okay. So let's get a Forest. Okay. It's not great. Next turn we can rally her to ramp, and we can still hold up Path to Exile, which is nice. There's the Baralio. Well, this is what it is. We're gonna get a Sacred Foundry here. And we're gonna get remanded, and it's gonna suck. But even like because of how I fetched, I don't have double white, so I cannot path this regardless. Yep, there's a remand. That sucks. So we're probably dead, I want to say. I mean, I don't want to say, but that's probably the case. I don't want to say that I'm dead, but that's probably a fact. Hey Ades, how's it going? I never see you play Legacy as Rival again, no longer into the deck, or is Modern just too much fun? I've been having so much fun with Modern lately, Hades, and I've been brewing so much with Reclaimer and just like tuning my Reclaimer lists that it's honestly like Legacy and Esper Vial in particular are still great. It's just I've been super hooked on Modern, so that's kind of the only reason why I haven't been playing too much of the other format lately. Lomi Shaman. If we don't die here, which seems very unlikely, but if we happen to not die somehow, Lomi Shaman would be pretty cute. We've been both rituals. We hope they don't have another ritual, and we can pack it in if they do. Yeah. Okay. What's up, boss? Alright, we're playing against the combo deck. So we like this, we like Veils, we like Eidolon. We probably like Knight of Autumn. Definitely don't like Boil though. These are good. Magus is terrible. Got that one. Regular can probably go as well. I'm not excited about the Path to Exiles. And I'm also kind of not excited about the Wall of Blossoms. Everything else has a place, a time and a place. Should I be playing Purges instead of Path? I don't think so. And I'm kind of not excited about Fiery Justice. Magus could be randomly good because of like how odd my opponent's mana base seems to be. That's probably not the fight that I want to fight, however. Alright, Yorion. Let's go, baby. Jegantha with Storm seems like they belong in different universes, yet somehow you see it. Like, I understand the fact that it's quote unquote free, but like Storm is one of those decks where your sideboard space is really, really precious because there's like you just need room for all the sideboard hate and stuff. I really would like to see how often just having access to the companion in game one, even in post-hybrid games, how often having access to the companion really matters, you know? Because I can't believe that it's too much, and I struggle to believe that it's more than what the 15th card in your sideboard would be in a deck like Storm specifically, right? So we have some interaction. We have a way to gain life. Does that even matter though? I'm gonna keep it. Fuck it. Let's go. Just gonna make some food. We're gonna crack some foods. We're gonna bolt some stupid dudes. Let's go. Oh yeah, more lands. Exactly what I needed. Exactly what I needed here. I think I'm gonna get a Sacred Foundry with this Arid Mesa. Look at all this food that I'm making. Alright, I mean, we got removal. For what it's worth, we got removal. No Ren and 6. Nah, I don't think that you want. This is not a Ren and 6 deck. You can't really get too much value from Ren in a deck like this. Tapped Stomping Ground. Let's make another food for good measure. Oh yeah, exactly what I needed. More mana. Well, the flood is real, baby. The flood is hella real. Astral Ren Yorion. 100% chance they'll kill you with a companion in this game? Yeah, 100%, right? Weird that they just passed the turn there. It's kind of a cool art. It's an interesting concept. Do something. I dare you. I double dare you. Do we have it? Oh, I don't think I have it. Oh man. All right, I have to definitely find that thing for my soundboard. I dare you. I double dare you. Any tips for someone starting their own podcast? Can you give me those tips if you have any? I mean, we're definitely podcast noobs. So I don't think that we can really give any tips, realistically speaking. Have fun is the only one that I can tell you about. Like, if you're not having fun, you're doing it wrong. Which is the same for streaming. What's up, Scott? How's it going? How do you post it to Spotify? I think that you have to pay for that. You probably want to talk with House of Mana. You can find him on my Discord and stuff. But he's the one that's taking care of all of those. He's the one that wanted to get the podcast going, basically. So it's kind of insane how we have gotten nothing, absolutely nothing, but just mana. So if we do this, crack food, weird rallier, get back, prismatic vista, play mountain, Seiko. Keep it under 60 minutes. We never keep it under 60 minutes. Our podcasts are so long. Oh my god, this is insane. Wow, Ivan, thank you so much for the tier 1 sub. Welcome back. Hadn't shared, I've been sub for 16 months. Holy poggers. Keep at it, amigo, your content rocks. Thank you so much, Ivan. Also, if anybody wants to get some really high quality emotes, talk to Vantash, because he's got your back. For you to get so much worth. Well, I mean, it's true that the kind of content that we make, like the kind of podcast that we do, is that it's so specific that I think that people can kind of stay engaged because like they care. Like probably no random person is going to want to listen to the Titan Dog podcast. So we, just like my own stream, we kind of I guess that my stream just doesn't do that anymore, but our podcast kind of caters to a very specific audience. So I think that for us specifically, if like for us specifically, it's a little bit okay, I want to say, for us to do the longer podcasts. I think I'm gonna do this. So I gave them one of the worst rituals and a lens, but I really don't want them to draw a card with the Manamorphose, because like it seems like they don't have it yet, but I suspect that they're gonna be pretty close. Also, the art on this land is pretty freaking sick. Okay, so we're probably dead now. Honestly, it's kind of mind-blowing how we drew nothing but mana, right? Like, there was... I kept a hand that had mana, and we drew nothing but mana. It's kind of ridiculous, and that trend was going to continue. Like, this would have won the game. Brutal. Alright. It's okay, we're just getting warmed up here. Just getting warmed up, we're just hanging out. Also, historically, Storm has always been a bad matchup for this style of deck. You're looking for like very, very specific silver bullets, and when you don't have them, like you're just so far behind by design, kind of. Spot a prismatic Vista Expedition. Wizards have to correct me with their shiny things. A year ago, I wouldn't even care about the pretty pictures. Yeah. Honestly, it's been kind of the same for me. Like, I find myself buying full art cards now. Like, I bought the full art Arasta, the full art Castle, the full art Dryas, the full art Elder Gargaroth. They have corrupted me as well. Like, if I'm buying a card, I actually look at the difference of, okay, so how much more expensive is the full art version, and if it's something that's like a couple bucks more expensive or something like that, I will actually go by that, which is something that a couple years ago would just kind of not happen, and I would just not even consider it. I try to get alternate art, but not foil. Yeah, I always like not foil is priority number one for me. If I can help it, I will never get a foil version of a card. I will even go out of my way to get non-foil versions of cards. I just really, really, really dislike foils. I mean, that's why Magic's cool, right? Like, some people go nuts over foils. You bought the pretty art of Bracing Borrower, nice. I mean, like, foils, if I can foil an entire deck, and I'd rather build a new deck than foil one, so I have no foils. There you go. That's a good way to go about it. Makes a lot of sense. Let's play the bird. And I think we're just gonna pass the turn here, actually. If my opponent does nothing, I'm just gonna go get a turn of witness, get back to Chord. If they do something, I can like eat their graveyard if that's something I'm interested in, or Chord for like Archon or whatever. They seem to be just playing Jeskai. Hopefully it's not some kind of like breach version. That's a foil wooded foothills. Yeah, well, this is because when I bought this wooded foothills, I actually didn't, right? Like, I opened this one when I was drafting Amonkhet many moons ago. I was drafting Amonkhet, no, when I was drafting Karns. So that's why I have that, and it's just like, I'd rather play with a foil one than just waste money on buying the non-foil version, I guess. What's up, Adam? How's it going? What do we got, opponent? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? You're gonna counter this? You're gonna mana leak it? I'm afraid of the future. What if I end up following my decks in another year? Oh, that sounds rough. So hope that doesn't happen to you. Have my eyes set on buying Bracing Borrower or pretty art as well. Just wait in a bit. Yeah, it's a nice art. I do enjoy it. Remand? Remand is kind of okay, actually. Doesn't matter too much. Just gonna do the same thing next turn. I full emulate Titan almost every build you made last 3 years, full art if possible. Have prowess foil and Esper Vial Legacy foil, except for the cards that don't exist foil and 6 full commander decks. Stop ruining the decks, you cost me money. My bad. Because my second test for Corona, we're doing a mini pre-release this weekend without this. Oh, nice! That's awesome, Adam. That's great. Man, paper Magic cards. Boy, do I miss them. I bought all the cards for Titan Vial, and I just have they're just sitting in my in my parents' house. They're just sitting there doing nothing. It's the saddest timeline. It's possible that I shouldn't have attacked there, because now I'm opening myself up to Snapcaster Remand. The thing is that if they Snapcaster Remand, I can probably just Evo. Well, Drain Out Arts are crazy cool, but I placed it Bone Crusher just because of it. Pretty Borrowers too, just wish the card was more playable. Yeah, I mean, Borrower is fine. It just kind of doesn't have a shell, which is the weird thing about it. It's a good one to go with my Eldritch Evolution, because I don't care if this gets destroyed. Wait, are we countering this? I remember buying foil Tularius because they were cheaper than OG. Yeah, I remember, like the Spell Snare. Sure. Just playing this as a 3-2. I'm gonna shuffle my opponent's cards. I want to shuffle them all because like all of these cards are just bad, so I kind of want them to draw them again. I could path my Scoos, denies my opponent 3 life, gives me a land. I think I like it. This path is not doing anything otherwise, right? I noticed that I'm getting kind of annoyed whenever I have multiples of the same lands. This is like the Field of the Dead effect. The Field of the Dead effect. I just want all my lands to have different names. Let's play a birdie. Let's get another birdie. Let's pass the turn. So they can Mystic Sanctuary back their Helix to kill this Lomi Shaman. That's kind of okay. And it's not great, but it's better than them snapcasting the Helix. This is kind of brutal, honestly. Get a 3-drop here. Probably Eternal Witness. counter draw. This is the saddest Yorion ever. Oh, I paid 1 mana too many. Whoops. $29 lands only. I know 29 lands, and in an 80 card deck, and I somehow still figure out a way to flood every single game. Apparently, clearly I have a skill. Three fairy, yeah. Well, that one sucks. So now they're gonna counter my Yorion. Oh, that's a good one. Let's lead on that one. Forces my opponent's hand. And I feel like this is going to be less impactful than the 4-5. It's just easier for them to answer. But not looking good here. Opponent has 4 cards in hand. And also the Cryptic drew, which probably means that instead of bouncing the Mystic Sanctuary while they could, so it probably means... Oh. Well, now we're dead. So I guess they only have 1 green source? What? They're a field deck? What the fuck? How are they a field deck? Their mana up until exactly right now was just completely heinous. We can't even... Oh man, this is a sad timeline indeed. Kiki-Jiki cannot copy legendary creatures. That's the saddest fucking thing. I mean, I'm gonna play it anyway, because... Because my opponent's gonna get back Wudo next turn, so we're super fucked, but... Boy, is that sad. Boy, is that sad, Kiki-Jiki. Basically, this hand has developed in the absolute worst possible way at every single step of the game. Which is a funny thing to happen. But we somehow pulled it off. But hey, we're gonna have 1 more mana next turn, huh? 1 more mana. Because we're gonna be able to copy your birdie. They still have cryptic mana. Even more lands. But at this point we can't play around shit, right? So we're gonna take 6, end step. I'm just gonna hope that we draw like a Chord of Calling or something like that. But I'm going to assume that we're gonna be dead next turn regardless, so... We have 1 top deck that matters, and that's it. Teferi. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If we top deck Resto and my opponent has nothing, we can still win. But at this point, we have to top deck exactly Resto. We have to top deck exactly Resto, and my opponent needs to have actual nothing. We cannot beat any removal spell at all, and we cannot beat any form of counter magic either. I mean, they're activating field, so they might just not have it. Alright, let's go. Rest off the top. Shall I? Voice of Plenty. Another creature that we cannot copy. With the fucking Kiki-Chord. God damn it. We block with this, and we lose, right? So yeah, we're just dead. Wrong Angel. Wrong Angel. Okay, I expect that our Cyber Deck games are going to be a lot better than our main deck games, for sure. Bloodmoon actually sounds legit against them, and so does Boil. The bolts can go... I'm not excited about the path either. Willow Blossoms also sounds not very exciting. Get a couple of paths back in there. Eidolon, it's interesting. Probably know what I'm about. Yeah, let's try this. Path Uro sounds good. No, it doesn't. Ramping the control deck is never a good way to go about things. Skyclave Apparition and Uro sounds good. That does sound good. But passing an Uro does not sound good. It's something that I will do if I'm forced into that situation, but it's not something that I'm happy to do. Ever, basically. It's just that the birds are so bad too. Oh yes, perfect mana. Now that I draw business, now it's when I don't draw lands. God damn it! Wow, really? Ugh, okay, this deck doesn't like me. This deck does not like me at all. Okay, bottom this. Bottom this. Beefus Magnificus with the tier 1 sub. Welcome to the Primetime Stronghold, Beefus. Really appreciate you being here. Thank you for the support. Yes! Fucking yes! Grande, gracias, papá, gracias. How hilarious is this? This deck had great results in 2017. Or is it not that good anymore? I wonder why. Itself, voice is not modern playable card. Yeah, I mean, it remains true. Trust me, my friend. Trust me, Sergio, that that remains true. I think I'd rather shock myself than have my opponent gain life. At least they didn't have a spell center this time. Por todo lo que nos hacías, aguante, abrazos de España. Muchas gracias, Bifus. Muchas gracias. For the Spanish-speaking folk, I'm actually writing an article for MTGO Salseo about kind of like the ultimate amulet guide. It's gonna be in Spanish, but it's been hard work. I'm gonna say that much. It's really been a lot of work. And progress has been slow, but that's a heck of a draw. Don't wrath me, bro. Can I put Yorion in my hand this turn? Not really, because I have only 2 green sources. I have to use them to eat Uro on something. Am I writing for Saseo? Yeah, just for now, just this article. But if they like it, maybe I'll be writing more in the future. Who knows? Fuck me, really? Brutal. Let's find an Ewit. Can we find an Ewit here? The worst Ewit I've ever seen. That's interesting. One, two, three, four, five, six. We have the worst kind of mana. That really sucks. I think I'm actually going to call right now. This guy puts pressure on my opponent thanks to the elemental. And once it gets countered or wrath, we at least get a couple of 1/1s. It's not the worst. Okay, opponent, what you got now? Ren? Sure. So that means that we're gonna get verdicted next turn. No! Fuck. How am I managing to draw the absolute worst card at every single spot of the curve? It's kind of insane if you think about it, right? This is literally the absolute worst card because I just cannot cast it, right? Because if I cast this, then I cannot cast a Season Pyro. It's pretty insane. It's pretty insane how I'm literally getting wrecked at every single spot of the curb. Wild. I think I'm just gonna try to cheese them out here. I feel like the way that I win this game is by cheesing them out. So I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna go for Magus. Of course, they have another form of counter magic. Alright, looks sweet. Glad you like it. Maybe I should have sacked the wall, actually. Yeah, that was a mistake. I should have definitely sacked the wall. Like, if I'm getting Magus. I think we're just getting, like, mana leaked here or whatever. Or remanded. No, mana leak. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's brutal how we've been... Yeah, we've been just, like, getting... Our deck has been delivering the worst possible draw at every single spot of the curve. We've always had the worst amount of mana. So with the current mana situation, I cannot like put Yorion in my hand and also get back Season Pyro. I can only do one or the other one. So I have never been able to double spell this entire game. It's been rough. It's been rough. This is Somnath. So now they get the mana and if they can field if they want. And then they deal this 4 damage too. Just getting a red source here. It's pretty insane, honestly. Gotta get a second planes here, otherwise we cannot actually cast the Yorion. We still have triple red, so it's not the end of the world. That one plays, I'll tell you that much. That was a good top deck. That was a pretty decent top deck. Sure. My opponent on a classic destroy your land strategy. Why didn't they eat my elemental for free? That's confusing. What's up, Yamsk? Not a bad draw, actually. So they don't have Cryptic. But now their Field of Ruin doesn't do anything, which is funny. I'll block. This means that they can minus here. That's fine. That means that now I can use Season Pyro to kill the Ren. That's rough. Maybe getting back Verdict. Yep. The turn before I'm going to Lomin Shaman feels bad. Feels bad, man. Question, I know what you can donate for a league. What decks do you play Legacy if you still play, and how much would it be to donate for a Legacy league or two? The donor lists are always the same, so the difference is whether you want me to play like a meme deck or an actual tier deck. If it's a tier deck, then I charge less, because my chances of actually, you know, going 3-2 or better to recoup my, you know, the entry fee are a lot higher, obviously. But oh yeah, that's kind of like the only requirement, honestly. I think I'm gonna shuffle just about everything. Again, a lot of these are just bad draws for my opponent, and these being in the deck is better for me. It's gonna be a red source. And now this is gonna be a red source over here. There was no way that we could Lomi Shaman and get Season Power back, so... ¿Qué opinas del tanto? Me parece bueno, Bifus. Parece bastante bueno. Trying to get this league on the map, and it feels like I had some legs, but still working on the list right now. Thank you. Yeah, Brian, I can kind of just play anything you want. Like, I've been... The last Legacy stream I played, I actually played... what's his name? Storm. And we went 4-1 with Storm, which I was pretty stoked about. I think I definitely want to clear the Teferi so my Veil becomes okay. Either Gust. Bottom that guy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We still cannot. Oh yeah, we can double Season Pyro. That's cool. What's your opinion when you list Awakening with Reclaimer plus Trial plus Sura plus Somnus plus Titan? I didn't try it. It seems kind of not great though, if I'm being honest. Like at one point, it gets to the point where you're just trying too hard. Okay. See some Pyro. See some Pyro. Wow. That one with Veil backup. We might actually win this game, chat. We might actually win this game. On a mull to 5. Against Money Tribal. We clear the Tef. We Clear the TEF, chat. We clear the TEF. Would playing Belcher fall into the play Neo Brand category? Not really. I find Belcher actually a lot more interesting than Neo Brand. One, two, three. So we're gonna chord for Scavenging Ooze. We have the second Scoos, right? Yeah, we have the second Scoos. I have a second Scoos in my list. Yep. Alright, sweet. I guess I might as well do it for 3. Eat your Uro. Eat it. Hell yeah. Get out of here. Fetch away, my friend. Multi-5, baby. Multi-5. Somehow getting there. Let's go. Do you think you'll get banned anytime soon? Is a real possibility? Probably not. I think that Uro should get banned before they ban Field, honestly. Uro is a way worse offender than Field is. So we know now that they have Omnath. Does that mean that I want more paths? Maybe it means that I want some purges? Purge being able to kill Ren is kind of a big deal. Alright. I'll play this game. I shall indeed play this game. It's kind of all we got, but that's a pretty freaking good one to have, so... That's another pretty good one to have. So, Forest. Sprawl for red. Pass the turn. Getting Temple Garden here. Renegade Failure. Why doesn't play Stoneforge? You mean why the deck that I'm playing doesn't play Stoneforge? Because I didn't like to. Like, we can play Stoneforge for sure. I just chose to not play Stoneforge. It's nothing more than a choice. I'm just trying to use my opponent's counter magic here. And this is the price, of course. Double Stone Rain at this point. Hell yeah, Bone Daddy 99 with a tier 1 sub coming back for the 4th month in a row. Really appreciate it. This is Spicy Stream. You have 4 month anniversary on. Hell yeah. Thank you, Bone Daddy. Appreciate your continued support. I'm just gonna main face this, right? Oh, yeah. If you have Force of Negation plus blue card opponent, you got me. They didn't have Force plus blue card, chat. They didn't have Force plus blue card, chat. This is good stuff.
Surprise, motherfucker.
I love this. Beating them on a move to 5 on the play was kind of unreal, though, I have to say. Nice mana base. Be a shame if something happened to it. I know, right? When you say rude, Sander, what do you mean? You mean delightful? Because if that's what you mean, then I would have to agree with you. It's just gonna be a red source or a white source? I think it's gonna be a red source. Feels good to be on the other side of the table to win casting ball. Oh yeah, I agree with that. Tell you that much. Uh-oh. Whatever my opponent is doing, it's not fair. So this has to be one of the hammer decks. Off a Blink Moth, I don't think I can die here. If they had a white source, maybe they would be able to play Pure Steel Paladin and combo out. Excuse me? Is my opponent just playing legit Affinity? Well, I kind of want them to win now. Mirror Enforcer incoming. Dude, my opponent's just playing Affinity. Like, good old Affinity. That is so freaking exciting. Also, what the hell am I doing here? Why did I fetch? I guess I play Season Pyro and discard these two. Discarding Chord feels so bad. But I kind of feel like I have to. Alternatively, I can Chord for 2. Which gives me schools, a bird, a wall. I'm not so sold on Chord for 2. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna see some power and just develop my board while holding up removal. Okay. Not great. And not terrible either. Concede out of respect if they cast Thoughtcast. That would be... Opponent is the real hero here. Wow. This is going on Twitter. Please play a Mirror Enforcer. Please play a Mirror Enforcer. Yes. Yes. Oh no. Mirror Enforcer. Let's go. Mirror Enforcer. Let's do this. Do it. Yes. No, 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 no. Do it. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Aw. I was about to do the drum roll thingy, but that's so much less exciting. Um, 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe they play the frog. Frog might would be pretty sick. Okay, if we get to untap, I think that we're going to be very, very happy with our situation. We have to untap though still. Plating is not lethal. More Thoughtcasts? No, okay. Probably Goose is jumping in front of that. Another Ravager. Hello, you. Hello, you. We probably can't do this though just yet. What am I getting here though? Eternal Witness? Magus allows me to lock both of these out. Skyclave blows up the cranial plating. If I get Ewit, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, Eternal Witness for Chord is the best one. Because it gives me all the options, plus it allows me to interact. So this is the best option. Yeah, I know that they can move a plating at instant speed, but now I can just blow up the plating with Skyclave Apparition. If I want to. So it doesn't really matter. We also have access to Path. If they play Disciple of the Vault, I'm gonna find them and subscribe. I am gonna find them and subscribe. So we just take this? Because we just don't block and we just take this. Because now we can chord for Resto. Resto, Blinky with get back, and we can just kill them with Resto Kiki. Sweet. Okay, so we just win now. Oh man, I missed Kiki-Chord actually. Like, this kind of lines are why I like this deck so much. So we have to upkeep now. I was going to chord an upkeep because if we draw Kiki, we actually cannot cast it, so that would be an absolute disaster, but... Okay, so Helix is good, Fiery Justice is good, Knight of Autumn also good. What's bad? All the removal is good, I think I like all my ramp as well. Voice is super medium. Loaming Shaman can go. Arcan can go. It's gonna be too slow. Rebel Arc seems kind of medium. Shalai also seems kind of medium, but it's probably just a fine one-off to have. Affinity was your first deck, yeah, I know. And I think it was just such a cool deck to have hanging out in the format. Such a cool deck to be part of the format. It honestly made me very sad when they banned Mox Opal. They could have just banned Astrolabe, and I think that would have hurt Mox Opal enough. I'm just gonna cut the Lark, seems a little bit slow, and Scavenging News. Scales might be doing pretty fine. Lots of 10-3 kills in the deck. Yeah, but like those decks are, if you want to target them, you have the tools to target them pretty effectively. And also they are so tough to play. Like I do enjoy having those kind of high risk, high reward decks in the format. Oh, this hand cannot be a keep. This one can't. I do actually like that a lot. I feel like that makes for the pretty sweet format when you have those kind of decks that are pretty hard to play, but you get super rewarded if you master them. Am I gonna be greedy and just bottom this Grove here? I think so. You should have banned Ursa, yeah. I agree with that. Ursa was way more of a problem. And way more of a potential problem too. Got a basic forest, play my Gilded Goose in Reno. God blast my goose. Wow. Alright. Well, now I regret bottoming that land. Well, I mean, if that's my opponent's turn too, I think we're probably gonna be okay. Oh no. Oh, we have to kill that one. So let's kill that one. Trex1490 with a tier 1 sub for 14 months. Thank you so much, Trex. Welcome back to the Primetime Stronghold. That's very many months. We're gonna get Blood Moon or something. Torpor Orb. Well, that's messed up. Nice 3 mana 2/1. Yeah, I know, right? Sick value. Cranial Plating. Does it feel bad? Yes, yes, yes it does. It very much does feel bad. Basic Swamp is the basic that they got. Jeez. I don't think the 2 damage will matter too much. Man, Torpor Orb. That's a card. Do they play actual Disciple? I don't know. That's funny. I always thought that Disciple of the Vault was banned in Modern. Back in the Affinity days. And that's why people didn't play it. And then somebody eventually told me, no, that the card is just legal. It's just not playable. And I'm like, oh, that makes sense actually. I'm eventually gonna have to block this, right? So I'd rather just get it out of the way now. My opponent can have it survive, but if they do, then they have to sack the Torpor Orb. Oh, I guess not. They can just leave the Torpor Orb and sack the Ravager. Huh, that might be the play, actually. Yep. Maybe I moved too quickly here. The good thing is that now Yorion actually trades with that anyway, so it's fine. Now they don't have a board. Ooh. What does that do? For 4 mana, what can we get? Magus? We can Ewit for Path to X. Oh no, we can't. Never mind. Magus sounds pretty legit, actually. Yeah, let's go for that one. That's hilarious. That answers the Blink Moth straight up. Magus and Prey. That's the line, yep. Indeed. Grafdigger's Cage. Alright. Alright. All of this sounds good to me. Because this Chord is just not good anymore. Oh, I should have played that pre-combat. I missed out on a point of damage. My bad, chat. I've disappointed you all. Of course. Of course, my opponent. My opponent draws the Grafdigger's Cage and immediately we draw double Chord of Colin. Let's go! Not even a 4-3, just a 2-1. But that was good enough. All right, let's go. Oh, man. Okay, what do we got here? Another delightful Utopia Sprawl hand. Is it okay if you pass a link? Yes, as long as it's not a spam link or whatever. We appreciate memes on this channel, but not spam. Okay. Turn 1 Blood Moon. Oh, Panther Prism. Oh, this probably is like the deck that Canister was playing earlier today. This that I was thinking of having you play in Legacy. Alright. I like where your mind is at. I do enjoy where your mind is at. Or we just lose here, right? I guess depending on their win con, we might not lose, actually. Oh, they have 2 Narcomoebas, so that plays around removal. Shit. Because we could pass in order to deny the Sword of the Meek triggers, but the second Narcomoeba gets us, so the double removal spell got us. That sucks. Yeah, this new deck is pretty fucked up. I think Canister was playing it earlier today, and it looked kind of egregious. Just winning on turn 2 very reliably. Yeah, the Upsal spells deck. I guess we don't really want removal. Maybe Veils. They do play Thoughtseize. Blood Moon doesn't do anything. Night of Autumn maybe does something. I mean, it's just like Wall of Blossom is so bad. What's the win con for their deck? They cast the artifact that you can cast without... I mean, this answers their win, I think. Unless I'm missing something. Etopi's Pro here. For white. They get their entire deck into play, into the graveyard, and then they get a couple of Narcomoebas, and the Narcomoebas, then they sacrifice one of their dudes. They sacrifice the Sword of the Meek, sorry, and they use those to cast the artifact that I don't know the name, and then they trigger Vengevines from the graveyard. So this is a punt creation. I seem to remember him going really deep to figure out how to break it. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if he created the deck, but I think he was the one that found like this kind of convoluted win condition. I don't know if he was the first one to do it, but I do know that he was like doing some stuff. Hell yeah! Non-basic lands enter under your opponent's control. Enter the battlefield tapped. Let's fucking go. Can we do that? Or do we just hope that this Archon gets there? think we just pass. Belcherino. Yep. Unless they have triple monkey. Being pretty impressed by Archon in this kind of matchup. It actually does some stuff. And it's double the clock of Eidolon, right? Not finding lands is kind of awkward. So I'm gonna apparition this, so my opponent cannot Belcher me and activate on the same turn. And thanks to this lightning bolt, this percents lethal. Thanks to this bolt, this percents lethal, and they don't have any basic land, so they cannot, like, they will need Belcher plus double monkey to beat this. I wasn't expecting bolt to be this relevant, but taking a turn off the clock is kind of huge here. They will need double monkey because they cannot have an untapped land because of Archon. Archon beatdown, let's go. 3 plus 4 is math, is 7, math's hard, yeah, I know. How has Skyclave Operation been? Excellent. It has been absolutely incredible. I have exiled Omnats, I have exiled Renan 6s, I have exiled Death Shadows, I have exiled Scourges of the whatever. Like, it's been so relevant in so many situations. Like, it's been very, very, very good. I guess I should have waited and played the Bolt. It was correct for me to wait and play the Bolt in response to whichever spell my opponent plays. We got there, thanks to a bunch of lock pieces. So made me find my Thalias and Vials out of storage. It's that good. Yeah, it's been really, really good. I kind of want to play multiple copies of this in every single white deck that I play. I'm playing 2 copies in Titan Vial, kind of looking to up the count. It's been super, super good. I guess Shalai stops their kill, right? Stops their Belcher kill. Helix. I guess it doesn't though, right? They just activate one turn, they kill the Shalai, on the next turn they kill me. So, But if I get to a point where I can chord for Shalai, that would be pretty sick. Good old no-lander. Man, my opponent never mulligans. Hands are always perfect. This can't win, right? Have to go to 5. This also can't win. Okay, so we have to keep... we bottom this, we bottom this, and we bottom this. And we just hope that this actually works. Not very likely, granted. Not very, very likely, but this is what we're doing. Who was asking about how good had Apparition been? I'm gonna draw land here, probably Hardcast or the Meek. It's not quite a land, unfortunately. So if they have Spy or they have the other thing, I think we die here. Not much to do about it, though. Yep, that's bad news for us. Yep. I think that just kills us. I'm just gonna let my opponent do it so we can see the kill. It's actually a pretty interesting sequence. So they do wait, what? Oh, temporary sound, yeah. So these are the reveal cards. So they reveal their entire deck. They're going to trigger 4 Creepy Chills. Then they're going to trigger both Narcomoebas and Salvage Titan. This is the card. So you may sacrifice 3 artifacts rather than playing this spell's mana cost. And then you can exile 3 artifact cards from your graveyard, and then you can return it from your graveyard to your hand. So you exile like Pented Prism and like whatever, and Talismans. Then you get it back to your hand. You sacrifice the Sword of the Mix that you're getting back because you're getting the Narcomoebas. They're triggered off the 2 Narcomoebas. And then this was the first spell that you cast this turn. This was the first creature spell. And the second creature spell is going to be the Salvage Titan itself that you're casting because you're sucking the swords. And then you attack with the Forge Vengevines that you get back, so that adding the Creeping Chills to the Vengevine attacks, that's it, sub-lethal. And you don't lose the game because you have a 1-off Nexus of Fate, which is right there. So you don't deck on this very turn, so you get yet 1 more combat step before you lose the game, basically. It's interesting. It's definitely interesting. It's kind of busted. It's very, very consistent because you basically just need to cast one of these cards. Like, you just cast these cards and you just win. It's pretty insane. I guess that you cast this dude and you have to activate it, but it's really messed up. It's really messed up. You probably need something like Rest in Peace or Ravenous Trap or something like that in order to beat it. But the move to 4 didn't quite pan out. That is the kind of deck that I really don't like being in the format. When you are just like, you're playing a game Like, I'd rather play against Uro decks all day than I'd rather play against this kind of, like, glass cannon-y just piles of nonsense. Particularly because, like, the glass cannon-y piles of nonsense have gotten to a point where they are super, super consistent and super resilient as well. So it's honestly getting to a pretty unhealthy place, in my opinion. Time to get Remorseful Cleric on the sideboard. Yeah. The problem is, like, if you go for the Remorseful Cleric thing, they just belcher you, so you're still in a shitty situation regardless. I kind of like how it looks like we're playing Ponza with this start, which is funny. Oh shit. Sprawl here for red mana. I'm gonna Pyro, discarding both of these. Yeah, that's not very good. Unless with the Upsol spells, once they spy, you're just dead. You don't have to wait for them to combo off like everyone. Yeah, that's honestly, it's kind of a plus at this point, right? Like the fact that you just don't have to sit there idly while your opponent just does some stupid stuff and they goes through some ridiculous sequence of plays. So it's not as boring. It's just like immediately deterministic, so you don't need to worry about it anymore. Just concede and move on with your life. And before 4 lane on every sideboard, and the Euro problem goes away by itself. I don't think so, actually. Frantic Inventory. Okay. Let's get Secret Foundry. These are really, really bad draws here. But next turn my opponent's gonna have access to Cryptic Command, so I probably have to slam the Yorion right now. Shadowed out? Aether Gust. Oh. We can bolt this guy in response. Nah, it's fine. Let's shuffle it away, whatever. Super sad, Yorion is super sad. Can reset the colors of my Utopia Sprawls. I think I'm gonna put one of them on green. And the other one is gonna go back on red. That's super weird. I guess that's how we do that. Maybe we can manage to get them at bold range. That'd be interesting. Never mind. One, two, three, four, five. So we're gonna get Rebel Arc. No, we're not gonna get Rebel Arc. Rebel Arc doesn't do anything. We only have a wall in the yard. We can Eternal Witness. Ewit. Back the call. Get another Ewit. Yeah. Magus. Huh. Yeah. Maybe Magus was better. You might be right. Brutal. Just keep on drawing basic lands. This is how we lose the game, chat. This is how we lose the game. If we had drawn a real card, I think that we were actually ahead. The fact that we drew a blank, it's truly awful. What if... I'm pretty sure that I said yield until end step. I guess I didn't. I don't think I can afford to kill this Jace. I just have to hope that we find a window to deal 2 more damage and the bolt carries. Really sucks. Really sucks. YOLO, don't have the force, because we cannot be the force. Brutal. I guess I could have... I could have Ewit for Ewit. Just to put more pressure in play. Of course. I'm fine with conceding here. I'm done with this game. Yeah, we just drew 2 lands too many. Okay, let's see if we can probably do better in sideboarded games. Paths can go. Maybe they have Mentor. But I'd rather have Helix because it kills. Because it can also kill Planeswalkers if I need to. And I don't think that Blummin is the way that I want to fight this game, particularly with my opponent having being just blue-white. No lander. 1 lander. Voice of Resurgence would be a good draw. Holds Desperation Scream. Yeah, this is unlikely to work out. When we beat the 4-color deck on a multi-5, it was because we just drew both of our voices of Resurgence, which really helped us set up how we wanted, like the pace that we wanted the matchup to go in, but we instead drew Lightning Bolts. So I think that our chances of winning the game have gone down drastically. This is maybe a baby Tef. Just gonna bounce my dude. Make me really sad. Yep. Shit. This is not a great exchange for us. Now at any point my opponent has access to a combat trick, basically, because they can put a 3/3 into play at their leisure. Narset? Why do they have Narset against me? So I can choose to play into a Wrath here. I think I kind of have to play into a Wrath. That's just... I don't think we can realistically beat a Wrath here. We're already so far behind. That one we might be able to beat. force them to have the force. They did. I think I'm gonna blink this and kill their Jace. This is rough. This is rough. Now we're running super into the Wrath. Path my Skyclave. Okay. So they can't play any more spells this turn now. I'm gonna get back the path. Yeah, that's rough. So they get back path. They can't cast anything here. They forgot about the Eidolon. They forgot that they started the turn by pathing. Maybe they're activating field. Interesting. It's probably not gonna matter. They can't counter it, but they can bounce it. Like, they have multiple ways of answering it, so it's not a big of a deal for them. The problem is I couldn't sack the Eidolon because that enables my opponent to counter my stuff again. What they could do is field me, which they do. Am I supposed to go with Lark? Maybe. Not looking good. It's not looking particularly great. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, we had a lot of options there, but none of them really did too much. I could have Eternal Witness, but because this gets exiled, it doesn't really work too well. Because the Evo gets exiled, it doesn't really work too well. And this gives us a little bit of protection from Wrath. Like, they can Wrath here now. Ashiok. Okay, so that's the spell that they play for the turn. We're kind of losing to the Shark Typhoon. One, two, three. So now we attack with both at Jace. And if they do kill the Lark, we get back the Magus. Or we get to kill the Jace. Diplomy has me worried. Yeah, it's a Dono League. Now we get back the Magus. Hopefully that does some stuff. Idolum very often does some pretty good work against these kind of control decks. It's pretty subtle, but it really messes them up. This Shark Typhoon going to seal the game. Well, it's not really the Shark Typhoon, it's the Jace, right? The Shark Typhoon without the Jace wouldn't do anything. But it's the fact that they have both things. Usually when you hardcast Shark Typhoon, it's pretty bad unless you have something else going on that will give you the card advantage. If you don't have something else going on, it's very often just better for you to cycle the Shark Typhoon. But if you do have a card advantage engine, that's when you're actually doing something, basically. So it's actually the Jace that's winning the game. It's not the Shark Typhoon. Like, the Typhoon is making the Jace better, but what's winning the game is the Jace. Like, if my opponent didn't have the Shark Typhoon, they would probably still be winning. Scusi. So that's why I'm putting a premium on answering the Jace. Sweet. So Jace down. I think I'm just gonna pass. For as long as this Eidolon remains in play. As long as this Eidolon remains in play, I'm kind of fine. I mean that I don't need to play the Scavenging Ooze. So that's gonna fix their mana a little bit because they're gonna be able to field me. And now they can potentially Wrath me. guess that playing the Scavenging Units would have been fine, huh? Classic mail me for no reason. Chord doesn't do too much. So they got a path, which means that they don't have a Wrath. So I'm probably gonna go with this. Kind of unfortunate that our core doesn't work. Jay's too good. Jay's so freaking good. Oof, okay, yeah. Hmm. We're quickly approaching the point of no return, unfortunately. Yeah. We can't win anymore. We can't attack. We can't pressure the walkers anymore and stuff like that. So that sucks. Particularly because I felt like we had a shot if I hadn't moved like crazy and stuff. This is a cool deck though. It feels a little bit just underpowered. I have seen, as I explained earlier, I had seen another player by the name of Kurusu playing a similar list, but using this Stoneforge package. I don't know how much that helped. How much that would help, I mean. But overall, the deck seemed fun, but slightly underwhelming. Like, I felt like my opponents were all doing, except for the Affinity player, bless their soul, all my other opponents were doing significantly more powerful things than I was at every spot of the curve. So I don't know if you can really compete. This deck is still remains as fun as ever, though, right? Like this kind of deck is always a blast to play. It just becomes a little bit more fun when you can't really compete. There are also other interesting questions, which is, should I be playing more of this card? Should I be playing more of this card and make this a more important part of my game plan? Should I be playing Stoneforges, right? Like, you have so many different ways of building this deck. I feel like I flooded so many games. I lost because I just flooded like crazy. And unfortunately, you're just playing a deck that doesn't have too much flood insurance. Like, you only really need to draw one card of calling to get everything together, but if you don't, and you do have a lot of cards that do actually nothing if you flood, right? All of these cards, like 50 50 of the cards in the deck don't do anything if you flood. They don't pressure opponents. They are just like mana and like some form of interaction. So 50 out of 80 cards don't really do too much, and a lot of those, like, you can't really pressure your opponent too well with a voice, right? This is just a card that you hope that you draw against the control decks. You also, like, I guess it's a little bit of pressure with the Ralliers, but yeah, I feel like I flooded a lot and my draws were really bad. which didn't help the deck's chances. But I do enjoy playing a deck like this every now and then. Unfortunately, I don't think that it can really compete in Modern anymore. Like, we're way past this. My opponent's play is killing me on turn 2 in a deck without any lands, right? And I am just trying to assemble a Kiki plus Restoration Angel. Like, this is it's some real wishful thinking, right? Putting together my 5-mana card, my 5-mana 2/2 creature that dies to Lightning Bolt, and my my 3/4 flyer. Trying to assemble both of these in play versus my opponent just killing me off of a single card that they cast. It's rough. It's pretty rough. But yeah, it was a good time though. I enjoyed it. That's gonna be for this league. I hope you liked it, Eric. So I appreciate your support. And this will be it for this league. Thank you so much. I will see you in the next video. Take care and like and subscribe. See you.